So Nigeria is Africa's biggest oil producer and one of the top oil producers in the entire world. I'm talking about a country sitting on literally billions of barrels of crude oil, and Nigerians have to pay over 1,200 naira per litre of petrol. Guys, let's put this into context. You know that your guy David that japped to the USA, he pays about 1,600 naira per litre of petrol that he buys over there, and he earns approximately 5,600 naira per hour in minimum wage, while someone in Nigeria earns 402 naira per hour in minimum wage, and they both have to pay almost the same thing for petrol. Now, someone spent $22 billion to build the largest refinery in Africa, right here in Nigeria, the Dangote Refinery, the largest single train refinery in the entire world. And everyone genuinely thought, okay, this is it. Fuel prices are about to start crashing and we're about to start eating in Nigeria. I guess that wasn't really the case then. Alright, let's go back to 2013. Aliko Dangote, Africa's richest man, the guy himself, announced plans to build a $9 billion refinery. $9 billion, guys. And honestly, his logic was pretty simple. Nigeria was pumping crude oil, exporting all of it out to other countries to be refined, and then importing the refined petrol back and paying through the nose for it. It's like producing cocoa, exporting all of it out, and importing chocolate and paying triple the price for it. At the time, Nigerians were paying 97 naira per litre of petrol. Just 97 naira, guys, and government was spending $11 billion annually to subsidize this so people could afford it. Dangote's plan was to fix this, refine the oil in Nigeria and sell it cheaply to Nigerians. Construction of his refinery began in 2016 and delays happened. Price tag kept going up and up and up, and by the time it was concluded, the bill cost $22 billion, guys. $22 billion. And in January 2024, Dangote Refinery starts producing aviation fuel and diesel. And in September 2024, the first batch of petrol rolls out of the refinery and the price gets announced. Dangote decides to sell his petrol at 897 naira per litre. Okay, so stay with me, guys, because this is the part where a lot of people get confused. Having a refinery in Nigeria doesn't automatically guarantee low fuel prices, because crude oil, the thing that goes into this refinery, is priced globally. There's this thing called Brent crude. It is basically the price of crude oil globally, and it is influenced and decided by traders in London, influenced by a variety of reasons like OPEC, supply chain, and just random geopolitical stuff happening thousands of miles away from Nigeria. Right now, today, as at the time of making this video, Brent crude is sitting at about $97 per barrel, and Nigerians own crude, which is Bonny Light, gets priced on top of that. And then you add the exchange rate, because crude oil is priced globally. $1 is roughly 1,350 naira right now. So let's say when global oil prices go crazy because of a certain war in the Middle East, the cost of making petroleum everywhere goes up, not just in Nigeria. Dangote is not setting the price of crude oil, he is simply buying crude oil, just like every refinery on earth. Which means that you could build the most technologically advanced refinery in the middle of the Niger Delta right now. And when global crude oil prices are high, the price of petrol will still be expensive. But, and this is a very big but, this is only half of the story. So here's the thing, guys. Dangote Refinery requires 19 cargoes of crude oil to perform at full capacity every month. And how many is Nigeria, Africa's largest producer of crude oil, supplying to it? 5. Just 5, guys, out of the 19 cargoes required to perform at full capacity. So what does Dangote do for his remaining 14 cargoes? He buys them from international traders. International traders who are selling Nigerian crude oil that has been exported from Nigeria. He buys it back at a premium price, guys. The refinery CEO has come out to confirm that they are paying over $18 in trader premiums to these traders, as well as the global price and as well as shipping costs back to Nigeria. Nigeria is exporting its own crude oil outside, and his own refinery is going to buy it from traders that are adding Jara and is shipping it back to the country and paying for all of this in dollar. Now, this extra cost gets passed down to me and you at the filling stations. Now, here's the crazy part about this whole thing, guys. There is a law in the Nigerian Petroleum Industry Act, Section 109A, that states that The local demand of all refineries in Nigeria must be met before any other crude oil is exported out of the country. So what the NNPC is doing by giving Dangote 5 out of the 19 cargoes he requires is not just morally wrong, but also illegal. And yet between January and October 2025, Nigeria produced 443 million barrels of crude oil, and 69% of that, which is about 300 million barrels, was exported, which means that Dangote barely got enough to fill a third of his capacity. Why? NNPC would rather make money selling internationally in dollar than supplying locally in naira. So this means that the people running Nigeria's oil sector would rather earn in dollars than make life cheaper for Nigerians. Make it make sense to me. Now, the Nigerian government did try to address this. They came up with something called the naira-for-crude initiative, which means that Dangote would pay for his Nigerian crude in Nigerian naira, saving foreign exchange and helping his refinery. It sounds good, right? Except the crude oil is still priced internationally, and paying in naira just means paying in naira. It doesn't mean paying less. The price is still whatever Brent says it is at any given day. And under this agreement, Dangote was promised 13 to 15 cargoes a month. He's still just getting 5 cargoes. The refinery CEO literally went on TV and said, "We had an agreement to get 13 to 15 cargoes a month, and we are currently getting 5. The policy exists, but it just isn't working. And until it is implemented and it works, Dangote will keep importing crude oil at a premium. He will keep paying freight and transportation costs and keep passing this bill down to Nigerians at the filling stations." So I did the math on this because I wanted to know what the price of petrol could potentially come down to if Nigeria actually fixed this problem. At today's prices, Brent crude costs $97 a barrel, and the exchange rate is $1 to 1,359 naira. Right now, Dangote pays $97 for a barrel, plus $4 because Nigeria's Bonny Light always sells at a premium, plus $18 to buy it back from these traders, plus another $4 to ship it. That's $123 just for the raw material. $123. Imagine Nigeria just did what the law says. Full crude oil supply direct from Niger Delta. No traders, no international shipping, just a pipeline. You lose the $18 trader premium as well as the $4 transportation cost. You are now at $101 per barrel. Now the government throws in a 5% discount just to pass back some of the wealth from the natural resource down to the citizens, which is we, the rightful owners of the crude oil. You are now at $96 a barrel. Run that through refinery economics, accounting for the fact that aviation fuel, diesel, bitumen and other petroleum products are also produced from that same barrel. This will help cover the cost of production, and the ex-depot price of petrol could fall from 1,200 naira to about 1,136 naira. At today's world prices, that will be saving 165 naira. Meaningful, yes, but not the drop in price that you were hoping. But here's the thing. Those prices are inflated right now because there's an actual war going on in the Middle East, pushing crude up to $97 a barrel. Before the war, crude was sitting at about $64 a barrel. Same scenario at $64 a barrel. The pump price of petrol comes down to 1,200 to about 700 or 750 naira per barrel. That's half of what Nigerians are paying today. No subsidy, no government printing more money, just Nigeria using its own oil for its own people, the way the law says it should already. So let me bring this full circle. The Dangote Refinery is real and it works. It is genuinely the most impressive thing built in Africa by Africans over the past generation. But Nigerians still queue up to buy fuel at over 1,200 naira per litre. Not because Dangote failed and not because his refinery doesn't work, but because the crude oil supply chain is broken. Nigeria is literally exporting its fuel to international traders who then sell it back to his own refinery at a premium in dollars, while ordinary Nigerians queue at filling stations wondering when fuel prices will drop lower. It's like a farmer who grows yam, sells it to a middleman, and then goes back to that middleman to buy it back every single night at triple the price. The solution isn't complicated. Supply the refinery fully and consistently, and watch what happens to fuel prices. The law literally requires it in Section 109 of the Petroleum Industry Act. As you can probably imagine, the full story is a lot more complicated than I've been able to cover here, but this is the core of it. If this has opened your eyes to the happenings in the oil industry, please drop a comment, and if you'd like to see more of this type of breakdown, like, follow and subscribe. Thank you.